G'day mate, how you going? So, you've got Streamlabs OBS and you want to set up your streams and your sources. That's awesome. If you haven't already been over to my previous video where we learned how to set up Streamlabs overall, we didn't go through the streams and sources part. Jump into that, I'll put a link in the description below for it. Otherwise, let's move forwards and learn how to set up streams and sources so you've got everything going and you can get streaming or recording as soon as possible.
Hey, I'm Sean, Ozias24 on Twitch, where I stream every Sunday, Monday and Tuesday nights from 6:30 PM Australian Eastern Time. Stop by for a chat. Before we get too far into it, if you're brand new to streaming and you want to get started by downloading and installing and setting up slobs from the very beginning, go back to my last video, have a look at that where I go through all of that. Once you've done that, jump back in here and continue on with learning how to set up your stream for your scenes and your sources.
Okay, now that you've seen how to set up slobs, you just need to set up your profiles, scenes and sources so that your viewers can see you and your game or screens or whatever it is you want to show them. If you're just starting and only want the one profile, you won't need to create extra profiles, but they can be good later if you're trying to get a new stream look set up and don't want to mess up your current one. You can have multiple different profiles with full stream setups. To create a new profile, all you do is click the drop-down menu, select Manage All, and click Create New. Once you've done that, go back into Scenes, select Manage All, and then rename your scene to whatever you want it to be. I'm going to call this one Test. So now there's Ozias24, which is my main streaming one, and the test one we're using today. Okay, now we have to add the scenes. You need to have at least one scene at all times. So when you first start it, there is one called scene to begin with, and you can change that to whatever you want to be your first scene. Just right click it and rename. I'm going to call this one Stream Starting Soon. You'll notice I have two sources already listed down here. I have to have them down there so that you can actually see what I'm talking about when I'm filming this. But normally you wouldn't have anything in there and you'd have to add the sources manually yourself from this point on. So because we're doing the Stream Starting Soon one, I need to add a source related to that. I'm going to add my Stream Starting Soon video and I'm going to put it on a loop. To do that, you click the plus in the sources area, you choose Media Source, click Add Source, and then name what it's going to be. In this case, it's going to be Stream Starting Soon video. And then add source. And then you browse to wherever it is. Now, because I want this video to play on a loop, I click the loop button and then done. Now the image doesn't quite fit into the screen properly, as you can see. So I'm going to drag that down to fill the screen up. The next scene I want is my main gaming scene. So to add that in, you go to the plus, add new scene, and we're going to call it main gaming scene. So main gaming scene. And now you see we've got two different scenes over here, the main gaming scene and the Stream Starting Soon scene. So the first source you'd need to add into your main gaming scene is your main monitor, which I've already got, but just to show you how it's done, you would add the plus symbol, you would go to display capture, you'd select add source. Now, if you've already got it, it'll be listed up here. If it's another monitor that you want to use or you haven't added it in yet, you'll have to click down here and add new source. And then you can call it, say, second monitor, add source, and then you choose which monitor it is you want to use. And again, you'll probably need to stretch that out to fill the screen. Now you might want to run two monitors at the same time, in which case you might have this one sitting down here, and then your other one you might have, say, up there, so that you've got both different monitors running at once. Or you could have three monitors, or your game and your camera or something else. In this case, we're just going to be using the main monitor, so I want to get rid of the second monitor. You can either click down here and hide it, or you can right click down there as well and remove. Now at this point, if you've got themes set up or you've got your own that you want to use, you can add them in from here. I'll add my camera surround and logo quickly. So again, you just go onto the plus symbol, you choose image, add source, call it what you want to, camera surround, and add source, and then you browse to that item. Then you need to just resize it or put it wherever you want it to be. So we don't want it to be that big. We might want it like that, and maybe over here. And we need to put in the logo. So to put the logo in again, plus image, add new source. I'm going to call it Zeus24 logo, add source, browse and find the logo. Chuck that one in there and press done. Now we want to resize that as well. So we'll drag that down and we'll just chuck that up there. It's probably a bit big, so resize to maybe something like that for the moment. And then we want to add in the camera as well. You can just go plus, video capture device, add source, name it whatever you want. I'm going to call it M50 because that's what mine is. Add source. And then you select from the drop down box whichever video capture device you want to use. I'm using my Camlink 4K, which is actually from my M50 camera, and click done. And then you just resize that and put it where you want. Now, as you'll see, it sits over the top of everything here. If I want that to be below everything else, so let's say I want to make it the same size as those, so it fits in there nicely, but I want it to be under that, you go down onto here, and the top ones here are going to be on the top up here. So if I want that to be below everything except for my monitor, then I drag it down so it's below everything except for my monitor. And now it's hidden underneath that. If I wanted my logo to be below the camera surround, I'd drag that down below the camera surround, and then it sits below it. But I want it to be above. Now, if you're streaming, you're going to need one last thing in there as well. You're going to want to press plus again. You want to go alert boxes and add source. Now you can leave that called alert box because that's what pretty much everyone uses. It shows, this is where you get alerts that pop up on the screen in Twitch for when you get donations of bits or actual donations or subscriptions or anything like that. So they're all listed on the side there. Anything you want turned off, you can actually turn off, but you may as well leave them all on. And you just press done, and then it will come into that part of the screen there. Now, if I take the Streamlabs OBS video off of here, you should still be able to see my main screen here. You can see my Sparko Cam thing, which is fine. So now you can just see my main desktop here. If I was to get someone subscribed to my channel now, it would pop up something like this. So for me looking at my screen, I don't see that on my screen. I see that on my Streamlabs OBS. So if I actually bring that back over now, put that here, you can see it's going off into infinity, but you can test your bits and hosts and everything from here. So if I click say host, for example, it'll pop up on there showing me how it all works. That's how you test them. Now you can make that as large or small as you want. Again, you just drag it off the corner to put it as big as you want or wherever you want it on the screen. I think most people generally leave it up at the top in the middle. Maybe they make it a little bit smaller, perhaps. You can test again, see what that looks like. Something like that, fine. So as I said, anything that you want to have on top, you have to have on top down here as well. If you want to hide something, you can click over on the right here to hide them. So if I wanted to hide, say, my video camera, I can just hide that. If I wanted to hide, the monitor, I can hide that or bring them back up just by clicking on them again. So the last thing you might want to do is lock them all on here. So once you've locked them, then you can still move them within the sources here if you want, but on screen you can't highlight them anymore, which means you won't be able to move them around. So if I lock all of those, now when I click on the screen here, well, that one's still unlocked. Oops. Now it's locked. Okay, so now that they're all locked, when I click on the screen anywhere, nothing moves. It can't get moved out of place, although that is actually out of place slightly still. So you might want to go back into that, unlock it, grab that camera surround and drag it down just a tad so it's in the right spot again, and relock it. So now nothing can be moved. Everything lines up where you want, the right size, and fits nicely. It's pretty simple really, but if you do have any questions or anything, jump into my stream. You'll see it on the bottom of the screen here. Have a chat with me. I'm happy to help you with anything that I can, or just have a chat with you about Streamlabs or your stream or anything like that that I can help with. Thanks, mate.
Okay, that's it. You're all set up to stream or record with Slubs now. Also, if I did help you in any way, please give the video a thumbs up as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're feeling like it, sub the bell notification so you do get the notifications of my new videos as they come out. And thanks for watching. Have a good one, mate. And remember, you're awesome.
Also, quick shout out to Ham FTW. Thanks for the support, mate. I'll put a link into the description below to his YouTube and Twitch channels. So have a quick look over there if you've got a moment as well.